Okay, hi everyone. This is Cherie and Beverly with Aging Backwards. Hi Bev.
Hello, how's it going, Cherie?
It's going really well today. What's
Excellent
up?
for you, huh?
What's up
Woohoo!
today? What's up today, Bev?
Celebrating you today. Cherie got another client. Woo!
Yes, yes. So we are all about the swaps today. What does that mean for us, Bev?
How about this for that?
This for that.
This for that. So this is our backsplash of our landing page, Aging Backwards with Cherie and Beverly.
Yes.
And our health coaches page. Cherie, you want to formally introduce yourselves to
I
those who may possibly not know you? I don't understand why, with all the people that are coming your way.
Thank you, Beverly. So, hi everyone. I'm Cherie Lynn. I'm a culinary nutrition expert, health educator, certified consistency coach at Cherie Lynn Inc. I'm the founder of the Exhaustion Fix. I help exhausted, busy women learn how to eat to help put their hormones in check so they can start to feel awake again and fit into those jeans in the back of their closet. So I have a link on the bottom of the screen for my Essential Energy Boosters Guide. If you would like it, just put that link in the browser and you could download that for yourselves. So
Absolutely. I would encourage everyone to do so who's listening. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Beverly. I am a certified health and wellness coach. I have coached clients who have lost up to 50 pounds in 1 year. I specialize in working with women to elegantly transform menopause through my holistic program online, individually, and in a group setting. My tagline is Step into Dazzling Health. My website is beverlyhillscoaching.com, which is listed below.
and I love your tagline. Love it.
Thank you.
So our disclaimer that we always go over before we get started is this information is for educational and informational purposes only and solely as a self-help tool for your own use. We're not providing medical, psychological, or nutrition therapy advice. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat any health problems or illnesses without consulting your own medical practitioner. Always seek the advice of your own medical practitioner and or mental health provider about your specific health situation. For our full disclaimer, you could go to the URL that's listed right there.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing the disclaimer.
You are welcome.
So, our topic for today, as Cherie had mentioned, was swaps. This for that. Do you have food cravings? Actually, Cherie and I did a talk probably a couple of episodes before this on
Yep.
cravings. So, if you haven't seen that, that would be a really good prerequisite to this. But this particular day, we're covering the swaps, the this for that. So do you have a sweet tooth? Are you a chipaholic? Or you have problems with carbs or caffeine? These can be hard to resist. So swapping a more nutritious choice for a less healthy one is just as satisfying and an easy way to help yourself eat better. Today, we will provide you with some ideas to swap out this for that. I just love that. It sounds like a game show.
Yeah, we could host a game show. There you go, Beth.
Hey, yeah, anybody listening, we can take that on.
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
So we're going to cover the swaps for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is just the sampling. There is a myriad of options. Cherie and I had so much fun discussing these options and coming up with some that we'll probably weave into our conversation. So to start breakfast off, most of us have a cup of coffee, cappuccino, latte. You have a preference, Cherie?
I just like my coffee black. And I like a good quality coffee. And like at the coffee house here, they even have a really good coffee that's decaf. And you can't tell the difference.
Wow.
So no, I like a really good cup of coffee. I like it black. I sometimes will go for like a latte or something as a treat with my girlfriends, but on a regular basis, just I don't like anything in it except I do put my collagen and my MCT oil in there.
I was also thinking about that. And for
This is the
Cherie
one
and
I use.
we
Sorry.
probably have already did the swap. So the MCT oil is really good. It's a medium chain triglyceride.
Yes.
And so it helps to keep you satiated, help you with fat burning. So yeah, I totally agree. I'm with you. I only have the black coffee. I am a girl that's got to have her coffee to get going. And the swapping this for that, that's something that I've never had a problem with because I'm not into the sweet coffees, the cappuccino and the
Mhm.
lattes. They're filled with calories and they just spike your insulin and you're just on a trajectory and you're going to crash afterwards. So the swapping this for that, just try to swap one of your high calorie coffees for a black Americano with just a cream. They can make it a little fluffy cream for you. And if you need it to have a little stevia or something to give it a little sweetness, it would be a better swap than having the cappuccino.
Right. And don't be afraid of the fat. I think a lot of people are afraid of fat, and it's because we went through that era of the all the sugar, and then don't do fat, and the whole low fat, no fat thing. Don't be afraid of the fat.
Right, but
Get the
there's
full.
certain fats that are better for you than other with
Absolutely.
your MCT oil,
Absolutely. So,
not
and then
water.
cow's milk. You can change up your cow's milk to any kind of nut milk. You can use almond milk.
There's so many. There's coconut milk. There's
Mhm.
cashew milk, and then like you said, the almond milk. I've even seen what is it, like rice milk. There's like so many to
True.
choose from now.
And some of them are easy to make yourself, like the cashew milk. If you soak the
The
nuts
cashew.
overnight, the cashews are soft and they break down and you just blend them up. Whereas like the almond milk, you do have to strain that because almonds are more firm. But the
Mhm,
cashew milk, they just blend right up in the blender.
mhm,
You can
mhm,
make cashew milk very, very inexpensively.
mhm. Yeah,
So,
and a lot of people are having reaction to cow's milk. There's so much that's happened to that milk process that is causing some digestive problem. People are lactose intolerant. So yeah, the nut milk would be a better option.
right.
And the juices, the orange juice, I am a grapefruit juice person. I love grapefruit juice. I've gone to sparkling grapefruit water now. But if you're a big juice person, oh my gosh, I apologize for the phone. I totally forgot to put them on mute. So if you're a juice person, if you would look at your labels, and we did a episode on, oh my gosh, keep going, Cherie. That's Cody and he's in training. So keep going.
Okay. All right. That's her son is in training and he is in another state. So we'll just keep going on with this. So the orange juice, a lot of times we go out to eat and whatnot, and we have a huge glass of orange juice, and there is just so much sugar in the orange juice. You have to realize. So if you really want the orange flavor, eat an orange. You need the fiber, and the fiber is what's going to keep you satiated, so that for weight loss especially. So you could choose fresh fruits with slices. You put it in water, and that's another great way to hydrate yourself is to flavor your water. Throw strawberries in it, throw blueberries. You can do all sorts of things like that to change it up. Kiwi is another one that you can put in water. So sugary sweetened cereal. So we can discard some of the sweetened cereals that are just loaded with
I know,
sugar.
I'm sorry.
And the sugar-free cereal with some fresh fruit on top would be a better choice. So, and then when you talk about the fruit flavored yogurt, a lot of those little yogurt packs, they're kind of like desserts.
Yes.
It's like having a dessert, but that's where they get you to think that you're eating healthy.
Healthy.
You're it's really not working. It's
Right.
not working. So
Yeah.
some plain yogurt, some Greek yogurt, even with
Hmm.
some fresh fruit on top,
Hmm.
you know, that it's going to be so much better.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I was a big yogurt person, loved it. They had the little small snackable size, and I would just take them with me. And I realized over a period of time that the sugar was starting to be a problem for me. So then I ended up swapping for just plain Greek yogurt. And I would bring my own fruit and toss it in. And it was a much
Mhm.
more refreshing taste to the yogurt than it's like it was a syrupy type of jamish goop in the
Right.
bottom of the yogurt instead of a nice fresh fruit.
Right. And you can buy coconut yogurt. You
Mhm,
can buy other things that don't use the cow's milk.
mhm,
So there's um just look at all of your options. So
absolutely.
there's some yogurts made out of some of the nut milks.
Mhm,
So
correct.
there's lots of different options. You can go to that part of the grocery store and just look for what seems like a mile at all of
I
the
know.
yogurts, and you're like, what one do I get? Just
Look
look
at the
at the
labels.
sugar. We did a whole episode on reading labels too. So look at the label and look at
Yes,
the sugar content.
yes, absolutely.
If there's one thing on that label that's more important than one of the others, that would be the sugar content, and then how many items in the ingredients list that you can't pronounce.
Because some of them do have the dyes in it that we talked about before.
Yeah, and stay away from the dyes. Yep,
Yes, yes.
yep.
Another one is the bagels and jam or the bagels and cream cheese. I was a bagel cream cheese kind of a girl. I love my bagels. I still have to admit I love bagels, but I cannot tell you the last time I had a bagel. I just have just X'd it off of my list. There's just too many carbs for me. I just can't do it.
Right. There are some gluten-free bagel recipes out there that you can try, and some of them are delicious.
Hmm.
So just find a good source for your recipe, and
Hmm.
you can, swap for a rice cake with some
Yeah.
nut butter. You can still have the jam, have some great preserves.
Hmm.
Yum, you know.
Yeah, those are other options. I think for those who have been leaning too far on the carb and the really heavy sugars, that, there are options if you still want to have your bagel and jam. There
Hmm.
are versions that are much lighter in the carb content and the sweetness of the jam. But just go down
Right.
the international aisles and take a look at some of these options. There's just so much more available in your grocery store, especially your high-end grocery store. We have a store here called Wegmans. It's like an international market. You can get things from around the world. I mean, you go down these aisles, and before you know it, you'll be in hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
trying out new things. But some of them, it's a nice swap.
Hmm. Well, and
It's
on
good for
the
health.
the rice cake with the nut butter, you can slice up a banana and put some banana
That's a good
slices.
one too.
There's so many
Absolutely.
options. It's just trying something different.
Yeah. So hopefully we've given you a lot to think about for breakfast. So now time for lunch.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
I know we went through this when we were putting the list together. So
Yeah.
the breads, the white breads are such a concern. Again, it's the carbs. It's like they've stripped all the nutritional value out of the flour when they're making these breads. So opt swap that for this, which would be swap this for that, which would be your whole grain or your sprouted breads. I think that there was one that I tried called Ezekiel bread. It's a
Oh,
very dense, heavy bread, but it's very filling and it's got a sweetness to it, which is amazing, but it's a lot more satisfying taste to my taste buds than just a plain white bread to me.
okay. And with some of the whole grain or the denser breads, it's a little different texture. So you have to get used to it a little bit,
Hmm.
especially if you're used to that squish of the white bread.
I know, it's just like it collapses. Yeah, it's a big difference. And your body would have more nutritional value extracted from a whole grain or a sprouted bread than you would for the plain white breads. And I know that that's a little challenging when you're dealing with your young children who are used to seeing that bread a certain way, but just try to weave in, some other options, because overall you want your kids healthy and have nutritious food so they can grow up very well and healthy and whole.
Right.
So burgers, are you a big burger person?
Hey, I love a very good bacon cheeseburger. I won't deny, with some pepper jack cheese on it.
Okay. Love
Yep,
the spicy.
that is my favorite, but that is, a once in a while thing. Whereas at home here, a lettuce wrap burger, or I just like wraps. So
Okay.
I have found this last week the cassava flour wraps and the chickpea, and there's also almond wraps, and these are from, I think it's
Awesome.
but
Where did you get them?
I got these at a store called Woodman's in my area, our
Okay.
grocery store. But these are vegan, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, and paleo, and they're pretty good.
So
They're
do you find them on the bread aisle, or
no,
are
they
they
were
in the
in
cold section?
the organic healthy aisle.
Okay.
The organic healthy aisle. So, and yeah, they're so I
What's a little bit of the information on the back of the labels?
like the cassava flour has coconut flour in it,
Okay.
chia seed, coconut oil, avocado oil,
Oh,
apple
good
cider
oils.
vinegar, sea salt,
Perfect.
and so it's
All
all
of the
good
stuff that
ingredients.
you can identify.
Yep, and the chickpea ones has chickpea flour, cassava flour in there too, water, a little tapioca flour, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, sea salt.
Awesome.
And
So when you look on the back, how many calories are there in the carbs? What are they like?
calories is 200 and the
Okay.
carbs 20.
Okay.
20 grams for the almond one. Let's see if
Okay.
the other one, oh, the chickpea one's only 140 calories
Okay.
and 9 carbs.
That's the one I would have. Which one is that one again?
That's the chickpea.
The chickpea? Okay.
Yep. And then the cassava and chia. I guess it's cassava and chia. I keep saying cassava. That one's 120 calories, and then that's 23 carbs. So
Okay.
depending on what your goals are for
Right.
you choose
Right.
one, but having a wrap and eliminating all of that bread all the time,
Right. Right.
and made
I
out of good
agree.
products. So
I agree. And another option that you can consider if you're, really needing to take baby steps on eliminating the bread, you can actually opt to take one of the buns off and just use it open face. So
true. I forgot about that. Open
I
face.
know
Yep.
that I opt for sometimes when I don't do burgers a lot, but sometimes I'll be out with a bunch of people and everybody wants a burger and I don't want to be one like, give me a salad. So I'll have the burger and then I'll just take the bottom off usually and make it look like I'm eating the bun. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to swap this for that.
Right. I usually get my bacon cheeseburger if we're, out and about.
Mhm.
True.
Sounds delicious. Okay, so if you're into cold cuts, stay away from the bologna. Swap this for turkey. It's a much better choice. Some of the processed meats are not that good for you and also has a tendency to cause you to have like high blood pressure over time if you're eating that. I know somebody who had like bologna fried in the morning for breakfast, and then they have bologna sandwiches, and then they have snack, like they ate bologna. They just love bologna, but just try to eliminate that if possible and go with some good quality meat and turkey. That's one of my absolute favorites. I have it on salads a lot and stir fry. So I love turkey. That's one of my
Well,
favorites.
when I'll have to tell you this, when we were growing up, we used to fry bologna in a pan, and the middle of
That's what I
it,
just like.
and the middle of it would bubble up, and it was
Yeah.
fun to watch. But we would actually cook the bologna in a pan and warm it up, and yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
kind of fun because of the bubble. But you can have and one reason to stay away from those lunch meats too is the nitrates is causing those problems.
The chemicals in there.
Yeah, so you can go with a high quality chicken too.
True. Very
If
true.
you don't
Yes.
like turkey, You know, if you don't like chicken, go with turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I alternate. I get sick of the chicken, then I go to the turkey, and then I get
I
sick
would
of
say usually you find chicken readily available all over
yeah.
the place. And I find that turkey is just something that's a little special. I kind of think of it for the holidays or something. But now you can go into Costco, that's where I live. And Costco, now you can buy like this side of a breast or something, and you can just cut off it and make nice sandwiches or throw it on like me. Like I put it on salads a lot. And it's so fresh and it's so it's just like a smoky flavor. So it wasn't like a lot of rub or anything on it. I just
Okay,
absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
good. Okay, so
Okay, so we had a conversation about the tuna.
mhm,
So I was telling Cherie that sometimes I eat a lot of tuna as well. And sometimes I'm in the store and I'll just grab tuna and I go and I get home and I find when I'm ready to make my tuna, I'm like, oh, I got the wrong can. It's like all this goopy oil in it. Like, and I know oils can be good for you, you know, good quality
mhm,
oils, but I truly have not found that they have put my tuna in some olive oil or some avocado oil. So I would prefer swapping the oil for that tuna in the water. What do you say, Cherie?
well, and I asked you that question, and your answer was because you're not sure that they put the quality oil in the can that you want.
Mhm,
So, and that's a good explanation because tuna in water is just fine. I don't mind the tuna in the oil,
mhm,
but I do get where you're coming from with the quality. But
mhm,
I figure since I guess I was figuring since I was buying the higher priced canned um, tuna or salmon, because I buy a lot of salmon in the
mhm,
can. That's what
mhm.
I use for my wraps with my avocado mayo, and
Okay.
that I was thinking that they were using the a little bit better oil. So that's something I'm going to look into as well because it's the wild caught tuna or
Right.
the
Yeah,
wild
I do
caught,
get the wild caught too. Yeah.
so I was thinking it was probably a higher, but I will double check. I may even just email the company because I do that too.
All right. Well, more information to come.
Yeah, because sometimes I just reach out and say, "Hey, what is this?" So,
Mhm,
and then iceberg lettuce doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it. You get a lot of water.
mhm,
So
mhm.
if you can swap out for some spinach or even some romaine, some
Yes.
spring greens,
Mhm.
mix that up too. I don't go with the same thing all the time. I mix it up.
Right. I love spinach. I don't know why I love kale. I like the denser vegetables for my salad. But I do like iceberg lettuce on like a taco salad. I think it
Yeah.
maybe it's the conditioning.
It's because you've never it's because that's the way you've always done it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Probably the way I've
It's the
always seen
conditioning.
a taco salad
Mhm.
made. I've never seen one with spinach though, but when I
Mhm.
choose to have a salad and it's not Mexican, then I will always go with the spinach or the kale.
Yeah, because if you can put the spinach on your
Taco
taco
salad?
salad, but it's just gonna look a little different because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, that would be new ground for me, a taco salad with spinach. We'll put that on the list of things to venture out and try one day.
But make sure you have a good chip to go with that taco salad because you can get organic blue chips. You can get the cassava flour chips and with
Mhm.
the chia chips. The
Yes.
So you can avoid the white potato chips with the
Right.
cheap oils. There is also I mean, you can also get the white potatoes with the avocado oil or but you don't need all of that carb from that white potato either. It
Correct.
turns to sugar once it hits your bloodstream. So
Yeah.
you can mix it up and try some chia seeds
Mhm.
in your chips or blue uh, corn chips. Make
Mhm.
sure they're
Yeah, I love
organic
the
though,
blue
because the
chips. I
GMOs.
love the blue chips.
Yeah.
I've even tried the kale chips. They're even delicious.
Yeah, those work as well.
Mhm.
Again,
Yeah,
don't be afraid to try some of these things that we're mentioning because you might be surprised you actually like something.
absolutely. Swapping this for that.
This for
Okay,
that.
so let's move on to dinner. Pasta. Oh my goodness. I enjoy a pasta dish from time to time. This is something that I probably only do a few times a year because everything when I go to the Italian restaurant is full and heavy and dense. And after I eat, I'm so sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I have found that there are alternatives. If you are crazy about pasta, there is spaghetti squash. And you were also talking about another one too,
The
Cherie.
You can do the zucchini squash.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to a Thai restaurant and they're known for their noodles. And there's this traditional dish called pad Thai, and it's made from their noodles and it's got peanuts in it and it's delicious with all types of meat. You have like pork or chicken. I mean, it's a delicious meal, but it's very heavy with the pasta.
Okay.
And one of the ladies that was in the restaurant was trying to take some of her favorite dishes and experiment and come up with some other options. So now she has a version of her pad thai that's made with the zucchini noodles. So it can
Awesome.
be done.
I love pasta as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's such a comfort food. I mean, it always works. Everybody enjoys it, but I tell you, it's really one of those that can cause a lot of health problems if you're eating it consistently and not being cognizant of like your serving size and having enough vegetables to kind of offset the heaviness of the carbs. So I'm not saying that you can't have it, but when you can, try to swap out some of the traditional pastas and go with a untraditional that, which is the spaghetti squash or the zucchini noodles. So the next one is potatoes. We're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday season, and there's usually lots of heavy potatoes on the table. But
Mhm.
we have some options that you can swap the potatoes for, and that would be cauliflower. So there's like mashed cauliflower, cauliflower rice.
Mhm.
There's cauliflower pizza crust now. They put cauliflower everywhere, and I absolutely love it. How about you, Sherry?
Well, and you can just bake it up and serve it that way too, with some
Mhm.
olive oil and some sea salt on top, and it's
True.
delicious.
Yeah, roast it. I've done it that way. Put the flowerets, cut them in half, lay them down in the pan, put salt and pepper, olive oil, and dust it with a little Parmesan cheese and let it get crusty. It's so delicious.
Hmm.
So delicious. And I think they even have like cauliflower wings now.
I saw that. I saw that, but beware of all the sauces and things that they're putting on too, because
Mhm.
that's where you're going to get some of your sugars and
True.
the
That is true.
extras that you're not really wanting. And the thing with the swap too, you're getting a lot more nutrients too from the cauliflower. Potatoes have good nutrients. They're high in potassium, but
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
going to be getting some more stuff from cauliflower. So we eat a lot of fries around the nation. A lot of
Hmm.
fries. So try to switch it up.
Yeah, you could also have like the sweet potato fries. Those are an option too.
Yes. Sweet potato fries are good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Well, and the other thing too, if you're gonna roast something, put down on your pan sheet, just put a layer of parchment paper. Then
Hmm.
nothing sticks to the pan, and you can just scoop it right up and easy
Yeah,
peasy.
great option. I
Mhm.
totally agree with you on that one. Another swap is your wild rice for your quinoa. I absolutely love, I keep saying I love everything. I love quinoa. Right now, if you go into my kitchen, I have quinoa on the stove right now. I love quinoa. I came across it probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I will cook like a pot full, and I can take it and put it on salads. Like if I have what I have, like spinach and kale mix, and I'll put a little quinoa on the top because it's like add some protein. Or I can have it as a side to go along with my meat that I choose. Or I can just eat it with the olive oil on top and sprinkle a little curry powder on it. I love it.
See, she's making me hungry.
I know, I know. And I haven't had dinner. I'm like, did I even have breakfast? I don't know. I do fast a lot. So yeah, this is definitely triggering
Well,
food.
the thing is, we love our food, but we
Yes,
love good food.
good
And
food.
that's the main thing that our clients need to understand is what is the good food and what to swap this for that. So that's where our coaching comes in hand so that we can get them to understand all of those things that they need to learn. So, and basically to balance their hormones
Correct.
so they can lose the weight that they want to.
Hmm.
So another thing is
Absolutely.
the white sugar.
Hmm.
And we have Halloween right around the corner, and I've seen the dishes of Halloween candy already.
Wow.
And I've seen the Halloween aisles. And I'm actually like we're virtual for school. I'm actually kind of happy because you should see the Halloween cupcakes that come out and the stuff that gets put in the lounge. And
Hmm.
you have to be willpower
Very
doesn't
disciplined to
work.
say no.
What,
You
Beverly?
have to be very disciplined to say no.
Yeah, is will you have to be disciplined because willpower doesn't work.
Hmm. Yeah. I
So,
worked at this company where every month they bought this huge sheet cake of birthday celebrations, and there was one that was chocolate and one that was vanilla, and it would go the length of the counter almost in the lounge area. And usually when they announce that, the birthday cakes are out for celebration, before lunch, practically all of that cake was gone. And I have never had a bite of that cake. And it was so scrumptious looking, but the trade-off for me was just not worth it. It's just like, I'm not having it. Never even taste the icing.
right. And probably an hour later, after having a huge piece or more than one, then
People
they
in
had to,
comatose state.
to went into a comatose state and weren't very productive at that job.
Yeah, it kind of got quiet after the cake came out.
I wonder why. I wonder why. But there are
Yeah.
some other natural sweeteners that we can use. Stevia's a really
Mhm,
good one.
mhm. Correct.
So you can use honey and
The raw
molasses.
honey. Yeah, that's a good option. I'm usually not one to sweeten my teas, but I have a variety of teas, and some of the teas are really bitter, which bitter is really good for you, but sometimes it's just like way too bitter. And I might take a little tad bit of raw honey and stir it in just to take the edge of the bitterness off, but not to make it sweet. But
Okay.
yeah, the raw honey, it looks different than the other honey that's in the store too, the commercial versions.
Yeah, get the raw honey, even with some of the comb in it.
Yes, yes, some
Mhm.
of them do have the comb. Yep.
Yeah. So
And
then
we have our
vegetable
oils.
oils, the
Hmm.
uh Bev has down olive oil there, which is always, make sure you have a
That is
really
my
good,
first. I love olive oil.
yeah, a good quality olive oil though.
Hmm.
Just because it's in a green bottle doesn't mean that it's the best one. And if you're going to
Hmm.
buy a good quality olive oil, you're going to pay a little bit more for it.
Hmm.
If you're getting the cheapest thing that you can, probably not the true olive oil that you're thinking that you're getting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was my concern about the tuna. I didn't think they had the best quality of oil.
Right. Which we have to I have to delve into that one now that you brought that to my attention.
Yeah.
So, and then you already mentioned the MCT oils, the coconut oils. I do a lot of cooking with coconut oil as well.
Mhm.
So
I do too.
those are
Yeah.
my two main go-tos, coconut and olive oil.
Yeah, I think probably the same for me. I don't know, maybe it is 50-50. Usually I have my olive oil in a nice spiral bottle, and it's like got a little cork in it, and it just will drizzle olive oil as I need. But then when I want coconut oil, you take the container off, you just take a big scoop out of it. So I guess that's probably why I may have a tendency to use more of the olive oil, because it doesn't have that drizzle effect to it. But I
Okay.
find that the coconut oil has like a little sweetness that it will give to the flavor of some of the things I'm cooking. And with my olive oil, I kind of feel like that should be had daily, like, a good substance to help your body, digest food. That's really good to have. But I think coconut oil is supposed to be really good as well for like helping you with I think like parasites is supposed to be good for helping you with that.
Okay. I
Yeah,
know that
it's
I
good.
have a flaxseed oil here too that for putting on top of salads.
I had that
Hmm.
flaxseed, sesame seed. We
That's
did a episode on oils as well too. So you can go out and check out that. We talked about a whole lot of different oil options. So
true.
okay, so the last area are our snacks, and I think we probably alluded to a couple of these as we've been discussing all of the other sections of swap this for that. So soda for me is a no-no. I don't subscribe to drinking sodas. I do enjoy my sparkling waters. What about you, Cherie?
I do not drink the sodas as well, but I do drink the sparkling waters. And then I do have the Zevia, which they claim it's like a soda, but it's actually a sparkling water with the
Sparkling water.
flavors.
Okay.
So it's got the stevia in it. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a form of soda, but I like it. It's kind of like a treat when I go to my daughter's house. I
Hmm.
know it's stevia flavored. They're sweetened, I mean, with flavorings in there. So they have like root beer. And so if I still want like a root beer float or something like that, I can still use, that instead of a
A can
soda.
of soda,
Can
right?
of soda. I
Totally
haven't had a
agree.
can of soda in a very, very long time. And sometimes like if you're I'll just go here. Like if you're gonna have like a whiskey, go have a whiskey and water,
Uh-huh.
a VO and water.
Yeah.
You watch all your sodas and all the extra sugar.
Mixers that go on the side that are really syrupy sweet.
Right. So that's another thing. You can try sparkling water.
Hmm.
You can try one of the Zevia um, stevia sweetened sodas. They're
Hmm.
0 calorie,
Hmm.
but you do have to be mindful of those diet sodas because they do increase your insulin, even though those are zero. Stevia is not going to increase your insulin.
Hmm.
So that's the
Plant
difference
based.
between the 0 calories there as well.
Hmm.
So just a little teaching moment there. So,
Correct.
all right.
Thanks for sharing. So another swap this for that is like your juices. We kind of talked about that earlier. Your orange juices, they have a lot of sugar in them, and you can swap it for kombucha. So kombucha is like a fermented tea. They have become really popular, and there are some brands out on the market that have started to creep up with the sugar content in them. So if you're opting for kombucha, please take a moment, look at your label, and be aware of the sugar content in there. You want to have, less than 10 grams of sugar on it to be a better choice. But your sodas are something like 30, 33, something like that, 35 grams of sugar sometimes.
A lot, a lot. And the other thing to be mindful of with the kombucha is the caffeine level.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if it's mid-afternoon or nighttime and you're going to have a kombucha and you can't sleep if you've had a lot of caffeine,
Hmm.
you're not going to be able to sleep. So earlier in the day
Hmm.
would be a better
Correct.
option. So
Great call on that one. So swapping your chips for popcorn. I know you said you make some special popcorn for your dad.
he had, oh, what was it now? It was the non-hull, but it was hilarious because it was organic. It came in my farm share. I gave it to dad. It was like the smaller pieces because my dad doesn't have many teeth left. He's 83. He's outgrown his teeth. They've been falling out. he doesn't want to go get dentures. We got that
Mhm.
whole thing going on in my life. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So he puts these in the popcorn popper and they're so little and so light, they just go flying. So that didn't work. So I did, Dad, old school. You put some oil in the pan and you pop the popcorn the old school way. Oh yeah, I could do that. Put the cover on and do it that way. And
Yeah.
I said, okay, even better yet, try this. So I took the kernels and I coated them in a little dish with olive oil.
Mhm.
Okay. And I put them in the paper bag, a clean paper bag,
Mhm.
and you put them in the bottom and you put them in the microwave and you hit the popcorn button on the microwave. And then partway through, if you stop hearing the popping going on, you can take
Mhm.
and shake it up. But you can pop your popcorn that way too.
Well, that is a good option over your chips. So I think you said you had some kind of flavoring that you put on it.
Oh, yes.
I remember hearing the story. It was like so interesting that I thought I should try that.
Wonder if I have it in the other room. It's the gluten-free cheese flakes.
Okay.
Why can't I think of it? I
Well,
can't even.
those are options for people to try. So if
Yeah,
you
because if you're
have,
putting the cheese on it, um, why can't I think of it? It'll come to me after we.
I put Parmesan cheese on everything that I want as a treat. So I throw it on top of popcorn on the occasions that I've had popcorn. That's
Oh,
a nice way.
Parmesan cheese is just fine. But I
Yeah.
was trying to think of this other one for those people that, yeah. Continue and I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I can't think
So
of.
for those who crave ice cream, I'm not one of those people, so I'm glad of that. But you can make chia pudding. This is a nice way to have something satisfying and cool. It's got the chia seeds in it, which is really good for you. For pizza lovers, we talked about having the cauliflower crust pizzas, and I've actually tried it, and it is definitely different than your flour crust, but it has to me more flavor than the flour crust does. If you're into like trail mixes in your granola, I would opt for swapping the granola for your nuts, and you want the plain nuts without all of the extra salt and coating and honey glazing. You just want plain nuts. If you're into the cookies, swap those for fresh fruits. Your fruit has your fiber in it, so that's going to benefit you. And if you're a chocolate person, go for the raw cacao. That is really good. And another option is that you can try the dark chocolate as well. That's a good treat to have at the end of your day after your meal, and a little coffee with a nice chocolate that's raw chocolate, or either the dark chocolate. I know a lot of the nice restaurants will leave that for you at the end of your meal. So
You can
do you
get
have any more that you want to share, Cherie?
the little cacao nibs too, and you can get
Yes.
Lily's is a brand that I really like. Lily's is like 70% dark chocolate and low sugar, and
Mm-hmm.
she's got peanut butter cups and she's got
Uh-huh.
chocolate covered caramels and the the low sugar no sugar thing, and it's a great brand to look for.
Oh,
So if you're
nice.
going to find the chocolate, try to go with a higher, like 70% and above,
Mm-hmm.
for the benefits. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to figure out
Right.
it comes in a
Well,
bottle. I even had a picture of it on my phone, but comes in a
mhm.
bottle and it's flakes that I had my mom do it for the last year she was alive. She was trying to cut back on, she had popcorn every night. And it would
Mhm.
always be like the popcorn and or the butter and the parmesan, and but she would load up on carbs every night before she went to bed. And it was either popcorn or it was ice cream, one
Mhm.
or the other.
Okay.
So I said, Mom, try this on your popcorn, and she did. I'll have to put it in the comments after.
I'm gonna say that's what I was thinking. If you come up with
Yeah,
it, you could add it to the comments so people can actually find it later.
yeah, I will. I'll add it to the comments.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed the swaps, this for that. We have given you a lot of options to consider. And if there were some other areas of interest that you have, we always offer, a way for you to submit questions to us so we can support you on your health journey. We love doing research. We love digging deep into topics that you'd like to hear about. We have our own YouTube. It's Aging Backwards with Cherie and Beverly. And we would encourage you to come, subscribe, like, comment, share. And if there's anything that we can do for you as health coaches, we are here to support you. So Cherie, you want to give any closing remarks?
I think you just covered all of it. You did an awesome job. So again, thank you for being with us. We enjoy doing this for you. I'm Cherie Lynn with Cherie Lynn Inc. There's my Instagram, my Facebook page, and my Facebook group, Overcome Extreme Fatigue with Cherie Lynn. If you need help with your exhaustion or fatigue, go ahead and join my group and download my Essential Energy Boosters Guide.
Awesome. Thank you, Cherie. And again, I'm Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. My tagline is Step Into Your Dazzling Health. All of my contact information is here on my website, Facebook, Instagram. And again, we encourage you to come to our YouTube channel. We have a myriad of topics that we've covered in videos. So find, people that can use them and share. We encourage you to support each other. This is a community and we're all about your health and wellness. So with that being said, thank you for being here. All the best.
Everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.